it's your girl Meesh. Welcome to another episode of Love Meesh, where I share my thoughts, opinions, and ramblings, and sometimes I'll have guests over, but no subject is off limits. It's a billion people in the world, and I'm one of them. So welcome to my world. Let the conversation begin. Hey, loves. Welcome to another episode, and today we have a guest. So tell everybody your name, if you want to, and how we're related.
All right. So, look, my name is Willie Sanders. This is my cousin.
Cousin.
I know, right? Family. And so, what I do is I am an encouragement strategist, and I teach you
Yes.
how to dominate your environment.
Mm, I love
So,
that. I love that. So do you want to tell everybody how to contact you? It's your choice.
yes, you can find me on Facebook. My name is
Mhm.
under Willie. Also better known as Will Words of Wisdom. You can find me on Instagram. Is Wisdom Life. You can look at my website. Is um, Will Sanders on Facebook. You can also find me on Instagram under Wisdom Life. That's WILLSDOM Life. And then if you want, you can go on my website. Find out more about me is williesanders.life. And like I said, what I'm gonna do is I am an encouragement strategist, and I teach you how to dominate your environment. So I speak to schools, colleges, conferences. I go speaking, and that's what I do.
That is amazing, 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 amazing. So I do want to thank you for joining me today to add a new voice, contact, and perspective to the podcast. So with family, you really don't get to choose them; they choose you. And it's amazing. Out of all the people in the world, the Creator chose your family to strengthen, encourage, or help you on your journey. So I love my fam bam, and they give my angels a break. So I really do thank all of my family members, and I do thank you for coming on the show today. So, me and my sisters recorded a podcast the other day, and I remember you commenting how you wanted to add male perspective to the
Yes.
conversation. So, here we go. So, I know
Yes.
before we was talking a little bit about my sister was telling me how you have to test guys to
Oh
kind of
God.
see where their head is. And what was your opinion on that?
When she said that, it was funny because all y'all laughed like, "Oh, girl, don't be doing that." Like that's how you find out people crazy, crazy. Like it's like you shouldn't do that. Like
Okay.
and this is the reason why.
Okay.
I've grown to understand that when a woman knows what she wants, she doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have to put a man through a test. Like
Oh.
when you go into the relationship or you go into, because I always, and I speak this from experience. This ain't something that I wrote. This
Uh-huh.
ain't something I heard. This is something I have lived.
Okay.
But I moved out my mom's house
Mm-hmm.
and I went and stayed on the south side in Arlington. Over there on
Mm-hmm.
my
Southside.
Monument be popping.
Uh-huh.
When I stayed over there, of course, they had the clubs and all that good.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go every weekend. And I realized I got to a point to where in the first 3 minutes of meeting a female,
Oh my God.
she
Shut
can tell
up.
she can tell me whether she wanted she's gonna give me her fake phone number, she wanted me for money, she wanted a conversation, text. Like she knew all those things within the first 3 minutes.
Mm.
And what it is, it's an interview process.
Mm.
Like it's an interview. Like you don't go to 5 interviews and say, "Oh, this is the job that I want." A real job
Yeah.
interview, you get two shots. So right
Mm-hmm.
then the job. So basically, what they're saying is, you are the job, and you're interviewing the person that you want to spend your time with.
That is so true.
Once you
Checking the
do that,
qualifications.
yeah. So once you do that, you already. So that means the job, you are the job, which means you have standards and you
Mm-hmm.
have values that this person has to meet.
Mm.
So if the person don't meet it, sometimes we take the people that we know not
Yeah.
job,
Oh my God. Tell me about it.
and we get a bad experience, and now the person that's
Yeah.
qualified don't get the job.
Yeah.
But and it makes it hard because now you want the guy to basically end up, you know, being having this facade on and telling lies just so he can get the job.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up. And I think guys know within 3 minutes of meeting you what the deal is too. So that's not just women. That goes both ways. I've heard that about men as well.
It does, and what the difference is, me. So can't women don't say they're gonna approach a man. That doesn't happen. It does rarely.
Yeah.
So that's why it's up to the woman to say, hey, this is what she wants or not. So what happens is, and women don't realize this, and I'm going to shed some light to probably help some young ladies or women, that
Mhm.
bait that you put out is what you're going to catch.
Oh my
So
god.
the bait that you put out. So if you dress nicely and you're gonna attract certain people.
Oh my
Certain
god.
things. And it's not that the fact. It's just like Dave Chappelle said. It was so funny. Dave Chappelle said in his comedy show, if I dress like a police officer and I'm not a police officer, and you get robbed, and you come to me after getting robbed, like, oh, he stole my purse. I'm be like, oh my god, I'm not a police officer. I'm just like, it's the same thing with a woman. Like, you dress a certain way, you dress for success, you're gonna attract. If you go to Jim's place, you're gonna see that be like, oh, okay, she got her stuff together. I can't be trying to, like that's intimidating to some men. And they won't approach you. And what they do is they tend to go into this thing where it's called lies because they know they can't approach
I'm so glad you said that. I went to Atlanta with a couple of girls one time and I wasn't dressed,
you. Mm-hmm.
I guess how the Atlanteans dress, and the guy was like googling over the girl that was half naked, basically. And he came up to me. He said, "I'm gonna be honest with you. You are a gorgeous, beautiful woman, but she's dressed like I could take her home right now." And so that's why the men are around there. He literally told me that. And he was like, "But I just want you to know that you're gorgeous." But he was like, "This is why everybody's swapping around here." He's like, "We're not looking to maybe build or whatever, but they trying to take somebody home and she fits the description." I was like, OMG, just in the way she's
It's
dressed. So you
true.
just said
It's
that.
true because you got to think. I mean, and let's be real with ourselves.
Hmm.
When we go to clubs, it's
Yes,
rare. It's rare that you gonna be like, "Girl, I found my husband in the club." Come on now.
that's
Like,
true. That is very true.
and it's funny to me because of course, I had my share of being on dating websites and things like that, and it was funny
Hmm.
because you would go on there and people having their bios and stuff like that. But let's just say I'm on a site called, Sex, Fun, and Flirt. And then you get
Hmm.
somebody talking about they trying to find the one. Like, wait a minute, this ain't harmony. This is not Match.com. This is Sex, Fun, and Flirt. You can't be trying to find the one and you on Sex, Fun, and Flirt. Come on now.
Oh my God, that is so
You're like, why you
true.
on
Okay,
here?
so everybody know about Plenty of Fish. Now, see, I didn't know it was like that. I'm on Plenty of Fish and Bumblebee. Like, okay, let's see who all around Jacksonville. No, it was married men on there, people in relationships,
Yeah.
freaking and stuff. I'm like, well, I thought these were dating sites, and apparently they're hookup
Well,
sites.
so what it is, and this is what I told myself, and I tell my girls this as they coming up. When you take yourself serious, people will take you
Hmm.
serious.
Okay, okay.
And what I
Talk
mean by
with
that
you.
is, if you go on eHarmony and Mesh.com, the ones you got to pay for,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, the bait that you attract is what you're gonna catch.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I like that.
Harmony, which so you got to pay for it. Like, ain't no man that's
Yeah,
trying to get a hookup gonna be out there. you,
I understand. Monthly subscription. I got you. Wow.
I can just go on Black Planet and no, I'm not to do that.
That is so true. Oh my God. So you mentioned, okay, so you mentioned about lies. You were like, um, okay, I'll let you explain it. So I can't even believe that a lie is worth more than the truth, basically. But you could go ahead and break it down.
So as men, like I'm smart man, I gotta get a code.
Horrible, horrible.
This is how it's set up. And like I said, this is
Okay.
something I live. This is not something that
Mm-hmm.
I'm going off. I'm winging it. I've learned and seen in my life to where I've lied and got way more than I would have by being honest. So me, if I
Hmm.
met a girl and I know I'm dealing with a situation, like I just broke up with someone and she ain't left the house and she still be coming around even though we broke up, and I don't have a job every now and then, I ain't got the right kind of car. Like if I get that all on the table, and granted, you should, because now the woman get to choose whether she want to talk to you or not.
Yeah.
If I'm a good person at heart,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to look past those things that don't describe who I am. Because even though I'm working, I may be working hard and you may not notice it, but I'm working harder than I ever have.
Mm.
Therefore, I can't say as my pride and my ego is going to get in the way to be like, I really want her to get to know me.
Oh my God. Pride and ego.
And that's real. Like I want you to get to know me, not what's in my pocket, not what, like the quality stuff that makes.
Yes.
So it's like if I can't get past that, and the only way to do that is to tell a lie, I'm going ahead and tell one. Is it right? No, it's not. Don't get it.
No.
I'm just saying you have some men that twist stuff because everybody. I don't care who you are. I tell everybody this: it's two things we cannot stop in this lifetime:
Mm-hmm.
making mistakes and problems.
Okay.
You can't stop those two things from happening in life.
Okay.
So we're gonna make mistakes.
Okay. Right.
What counts is what you do after you make the mistake, and we're gonna
Mm.
have problems. But what counts is
Yeah.
problem solver. So you
Hmm.
got to become a.
I love that.
But is it certain
Critical.
qualities when you? I mean, like I said, I was dating someone that was 29 and I was 19, and she thought I was 21, and it was I wasn't trying to justify the lie.
Yeah.
The thing that she took from it was she was glad that I did because she
Mm-hmm.
seen the qualities that pushed past her walls that she had up to see out of the one little lie that I told, I did 100 other things right. So she was like, down
Yes.
barriers that I had with trusting people and doing this. And I wouldn't have even have seen that because if I told her I was 19, she would have,
When it gave you a chance.
wrote me off.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes,
Wow.
I mean, I had a lot of to work at Walmart
I
one
get what you're
time.
saying.
I mean,
I get what you're saying.
not to where
And
it's
the
like you don't. It's like you just go way low. Like I just went 2 years. I ain't say like I
2 years.
was 25 and I got my own
Right. Exactly.
place.
But look, I think honesty can take you a long way. For example, a lot of people don't want to be with one person. Well, if you take the people that don't want to be with one person, and if they're honest and tell people, hey, I date, so many people and that other person dates so many people, they would be a great couple. They all need to be in one lane together. But no, you got the person that want to be with a lot of people lying like they can be committed in one relationship and then end up cheating on the person that honestly can be in one relationship. So that's, to me, that's the problem. If everybody was just honest and put honesty on the table, it will go a lot further. It
I
honestly
agree.
would.
I totally agree. I'm not saying that just to be like, yes, man. I really do because, like I said, as I got older, I realized that it did get me to a place to where I was like, you know what, I can be myself and just say, hey, like I'm not looking for a relationship, and if you are, don't be trying to like
Yeah.
force me into one and keep trying to talk to me when I
Yes.
told you this is what I want. Because
Yes.
because people try to change it, and the thing that I realized you can't
Change people.
no, you can't change people, but you can't control who you have feelings for.
Yeah.
And I think that's what gets in the way, and that makes everything cloudy because it's like, okay, I got feelings for this person. I invested in time, and time is something I can't get back. So I feel like I'm going to keep talking to this person
Oh my God, that was so me. And it
because
still
I've
has the
lost it.
same end result. It's going in, and you wasted more time than if you would have nipped it in the bud. That is so true.
Yeah.
But just because you love somebody, that doesn't mean that's your forever person.
No,
I think when people break up, I think you still do love them. You just figured that, hey, we're not going to continue to build forward together, and you go your separate ways. Like, that has nothing to do with love. That just means that you're not going to continue to move forward.
yeah. What people have to realize is that you get to a point to understand everybody you meet doesn't mean they the one.
Yes, that is so
That is something
true.
people like. There are some people, guess what? You're gonna be compatible with. You're gonna be compatible with, so it's like it's not even funny, but that doesn't mean they're the one because even
Ah.
biblical, it said there's a time to throw away, there's
Mm-hmm.
a time to keep,
Yes.
there's a time to, there's seasons.
Yes.
So, and you may be in a season where, you know what, I've been through enough. I've been through pain. I've been hurt. It's time for me to really just enjoy myself right now and find out what I want. Just be happy.
Yes.
That may be a season of me being happy. And guess what? That may be just 1 year of me just being who I am, you know?
Yes.
And guess what? Being who you are, you're going to find some people along the way that you're going to be compatible with.
Yes. But you're right. That doesn't necessarily mean future. I had to tell myself that, like, okay, you love this person. That don't mean husband, wife, kids. I literally had to teach myself that, like, everybody, some people can be teachers too. You never know. They're here to teach you something, and then you move on. It doesn't always have to be relationship, marriage, or any of that. I just learned that actually. I was like, oh my
And I think you
God.
just learned it because you've gotten to a place to where when you've been hurt and bitter and angry and frustrated, like the first thing that comes when you get happiness, you be like, "Oh, I'm keeping this. I'm not losing this because I don't know the next time I'll be happy again." And that's what happens. That's what happens.
Oh
You
my
you keep you
God.
keep that stuff buried in because you like, man, the last time I felt like this, I don't even remember when. So I'm gonna put up whatever I gotta put up with because
Yeah.
I don't know when I'm gonna be happy again. So and it takes that,
Yeah.
and this is what I was telling you earlier. Like people have to understand that love doesn't keep people from cheating.
Mm.
It doesn't.
Mm. 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 Mm.
Like just like Tina, what love got to do with it? It doesn't. It doesn't keep people from cheating. What really keeps people from cheating is the person that values. It's what you like. If I value my relationship with you and the person who
Mm-hmm.
you are, and it's three things: it's valuing you, and then also having self control and self discipline. Like nobody,
Mm-hmm.
like you can't sit here and be like you went and met somebody and been like in your mind, does he have self control? Does he have self discipline? That's not something you look for in a relationship
Yeah.
because you're
But
not
it's
exposed to it.
important.
But you're not exposed to it.
Yeah.
Like growing up in Florida in Jacksonville,
Mm-hmm.
all I thought was life was TGI Fridays, Applebee's. I made it. You see what I'm saying? But it
Yeah.
took my sister showing me Bonefish Grill and
Yeah.
Cheesecake Factory. I'm like, wait a minute.
Uh-huh.
Ruth Chris,
Uh-huh.
all these places where the lights low, you put the amount of the
Yes.
price. I'm like, wait a minute. So
Yes.
that's when I got exposed to it. I'm like, okay, now I know. I went to college where it was a bunch of people in the world. I didn't know that other people exist. I went to all black school. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know they had people in Norway, Brazil, and speak different languages. And I'm like, wait a minute. But I was exposed to it. So it's the same thing. Like if I value you as a person, and then I have self discipline and self control, it helps because when you go to the mall and people find you attractive and you may be flirtatious, like you gotta have self control not to go get her phone number or not to go get his phone number.
Oh
It's
my
like ain't nothing
God.
stopping you.
That is
Nothing
so
is stopping you.
true.
I can love you all day,
Yeah.
but nothing. I love my mama all day, but nothing stopped me from being disrespectful sometimes.
Yeah, I got you. Mm-hmm.
But I
Mm-hmm.
value her to know when I left the house, I gotta have self discipline and self control, and not to do things that I shouldn't be doing.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
So it's not love that stops people; it's the value.
I'm so glad you said that.
Well, I mean, it's
I would say, because that's how I was. And I thought it was love because I love you. I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do that. Don't you understand that? Like, who doesn't understand that?
exactly
But I'm glad you said that it's not the love. It's already who I am. Oh my
because you got.
God.
And I used to tell people this back in the day when I used to mess up. It was my get out of jail free card. But I used to be like,
Mm-mm.
well, I love my mama. Like we love our parents. Just because I lied to her don't mean like who are you if I can't lie to you? Like my mama brought me to
Yes,
this
you
world.
are.
So if I disrespect
And
to
that's
her,
really
if I
good.
disrespect to her and lied to her, I mean, you honestly think because I said I love you, that's gonna not make me lie to you and my mama who brought me into this world?
Exactly.
Come on, man.
Dang.
Come on, man. So that's why,
Yeah.
and that's when I learned to switch. It's not the love; it's
Mm.
how much I value my mom that got me to a point where you're like, you know what? I don't want to see her hurt again. I don't want to see her go through pain. So I'm not gonna lie to her. I'm not gonna disrespect her. Put my hands on her because I value who she is and not what she do.
OMG. It starts with you. You said because I value,
Exactly.
which was you.
Because
OMG.
if I don't value you, it's gonna be easy for me
Hmm.
to be all right. Let me go talk to this one. Give her phone
Yeah.
number because
That's so
I'm not
true.
valuing you because whatever it is that I need to like, it's nothing you have to do. That's why I said people are dealing with things and have triggers, and this is what I learned too. Like people have triggers, and you gotta understand. And that's why I said I teach. You know, I teach how to dominate your environment because when you have a trigger, people don't sit down and say, "Oh, this is my trigger." Like it just comes out of nowhere, and you be like, "Wait a minute, I didn't even know." So
Mm.
it is just like I went off. I went I went off on my father-in-law. It's a true story. I went off on my father-in-law. We went to New Orleans, and this is what he said. Now listen, like you have to really listen to this. You might have to play this
Okay.
back. So
Okay.
we went, and when we went to New Orleans, everybody went out. We didn't get back home till like 3 in the morning. And my father-in-law was like, I want everybody to meet me at Shoney's at 8 o'clock. I'm like, who? So I'm like, we gonna be tired, and I got 4 girls, and I'm like, ain't no way I'm about to get them up, get their hair done, and take them to Shoney's. They staying at their
Hmm.
mama's house. So I'm like, they gonna stay at grandma's house. So when we get there, my wife, I'm telling you, she'll tell you. We got there,
Hmm.
she said, look, he gonna be late, and he gonna blame somebody. Don't let it be you. Just before we walked in, I said, all right, baby, got it. Break. Going to Shoney's. Going to Shoney's. He said be there at 8. He came in at 10. Everybody was clapping their hands like, oh, he made it, he made it. So he just so happily come in and was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. He was like, where the kids at? Now here it goes. He said, he
Mm.
said, where are the kids?
Mm.
What I heard was when he said, where are the kids at? I said, they at my mom's house. I didn't want to bring them because it was early. He said, that sounds like an excuse. Now, that's what he said. He said, that sounds like an excuse. But what I heard
Oh.
in my mind and what triggered me was you don't take care of your kids. That's what I
Oh,
heard.
hell
So
no.
when he said that sounded like an excuse, so the word excuse triggered me in a way that he had no idea. So because I heard excuse, the last time I heard the excuse was a bad thing for me. So I went straight to that bad thing and I snapped.
Yeah.
I
Oh
lost
my
it.
God.
I was like, I'm not the one trying to, play catch up with my kids. I'll take care of all mine. I just went off.
Yeah.
I went off
Yeah. Oh my God.
because it was a trigger that
Yes.
wasn't even dealing with him. It was from a past experience.
Yeah.
All have them as,
Yes, we do.
as people to where it's like the moment they say a word, you don't hear anything after that. It's just, that's like when my best friend died. It's a trigger of mine when
Mm,
somebody say they'll call
sorry.
me back. It's a trigger because I
Yeah.
was the last person that he called before he died.
Oh man, I'm
So
sorry.
it sends me to a place to where I'll be texting, I'll be calling people like, man, why you keep blowing me up? Man, I'm just hey, I'm saying ain't got
Yeah.
nothing to do with you. Just like
Exactly. You never know when it's gonna be the last time. Yeah, you have a different perspective.
like I said, but nobody sits down and say, hey, here go my triggers. Like this is something I deal with. I'm struggling with. When you say this what I heard. So people have triggers. That has nothing to
Ah.
figure out how they went from 100 to 1,000. And all I said was good morning. Like somebody good morning could have been, that's why people like good morning. What you mean good morning? Because last person told me it wasn't a good thing. It wasn't wasn't good. So when they look at you saying good morning, you like, wait, I know good morning good. Good morning still mean get naked. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's so true. That is so true. Oh my god.
so people got to take that into consideration. So that is I'm telling you, like the things. That's why the people that look, you got to catch my show at 4 o'clock in the morning every day. I go live, and I just help people. I talk about real issues, real things, and I break it down to science and try to help you dominate your environment with personalities because everybody has a personality.
Yes, we do.
When you don't identify the different color of that personality,
Mm-hmm.
each color tells you whether they're an introvert or extrovert.
Yes.
People have to realize what's in front of them, and I teach people how to do that so you know how to handle what's in front of you.
Mm.
So if you,
Mm.
I teach you the characteristics. This is like, for example, you right-handed or left-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Right-handed, right? So if
Yes.
you are right-handed, which means you have a tendency that you cannot change about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot change the fact that you're right-handed, can you?
I don't think so.
You can't change that. So for the rest of your life, you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
right-handed. So I mean, there are tendencies that you have as a human being that you cannot get rid of. It's the same thing. So if you are a personality of a high energy person, you're gonna always be that person.
Oh my god.
When you person, like when you mellowed out, people trying to figure out
Yeah. What's wrong? That's why I be wondering how they know. You are so right.
but not realizing when you are. So I call it the hula hoop effect, and what it is, people that are extroverts, they get their energy from other people,
Mm.
and then people who are introverts, they get their energy from being closed off.
Yes.
Some people jobs that are extroverts have to, you got to be quiet, you got to, be conservative. And you ever realize most of your friends are going to be the opposite of what you are.
Shut
You
up.
balance each other out. You see what I'm saying? Like she be like, "Well,
Yes.
loud. I want to hang with her," and then she be like, "Well, I know she gonna be loud. I can be quiet." 'Cause out.
I kid you not. Okay, so I used to work at Bank of America and it was quiet. All we did was key in the automatic checks people would put in the machines where somebody actually come behind you and keys those numbers in digitally. It was so quiet we could not talk and I was mad and miserable. I hated the fact that I could not talk. It was just too quiet in there and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm used to like loud call centers, being able to talk, going to this person desk, this, that, the other. And I could not figure out for the life of me what it was because it was an easy job. But you just explained it. And then as far as my friends are concerned, I'm the girly girl. Every other girl I know is like tomboy chill.
Mm.
And I'm like high heels, lipstick, makeup, and nobody else is like that. Oh my god.
But that's why, and you just said something that was key. When you're not able to be your extrovert who you really are, it sends you to a stressor. So there are certain things that you have to do. If you can't do them, you get stressed out, you get frustrated, you're upset because you're not being, like I said, you're not being able to use the tendency that as who you are. You can't
Mm.
change that. You can't change it.
Mm, 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 mm.
Like I said, there's characteristics that I teach that come along with it because it's a core need. That's what it is. It's called a core need, not a want. It's a need.
I need.
When you don't have a need, it sends you to a stressor.
That is amazing. Okay, so now I'm at a call, now I work for the government and I'm used to call center world, but I'm introvert. A lot of people don't think I'm introverted. I'm very introverted. So much so that when I was growing up, my mom, she called me like a hermit crab because I was always in a room reading or something. It was six of us. It's a person in every room you go into. So I value being in a room alone. That does not bother me. I love my meal time. I'm in an apartment by myself right now. I'm just fine with it just being me. So in the call center world, I keep saying like every morning, like I want to work from home. I want to work from home. What is the point of like coming in here? Like I don't mind doing my job by myself from home. Well, thankfully, we should be able to do that at the end of this year. But I did not know that that was like a need of
It
mine.
is.
I don't want to be around people like that.
And most people and this the kick part. Like some people that are extroverts, they actually are introverts. Like they get their energy from being by themselves.
Whoa.
They just have a
Wow.
job or they have friends where they can be extroverted, but they get their energy, like you said, from reading a book, being by myself,
Yeah.
doing things by myself. Like I
Yes.
get a lot of energy from doing that. So when it's time for me to be extroverted, I done spent so much time with myself. Now I can turn up.
OMG, that's awesome.
So and yeah, because you would think, like I said, you got somebody that probably work at let's say AT&T and their customer service. They got a high energy and stuff like that, but they really just want to go home and just crawl into a ball and get energy.
OMG. That is a wow. I would never know.
Yeah, well, that's what I
So they're
teach.
not extroverted, but the job is having them play that
Correct,
role, basically.
correct. Because
Mm.
so like I said, and to learn more, like I said, come to my live on
Yes, yes,
Facebook.
yes.
Like I said, I know it's 4 o'clock in the morning, but like I'm up early because that's what the most successful people do because everybody get
Yeah,
24
you are
hours.
so right. You are so.
Everybody
I'm
get
glad
24
you said
hours.
that.
And that's why I got a book coming out. Like I would never
Oh,
thought.
I'm so glad you
Yeah,
said that.
I
I
got a
was
book
thinking that
coming
the
out.
whole time. I was like, I hope he write a book. Yes.
I got plenty of books. I got books that I just need to just get out and just want
Yes.
to help people, be able to do that. My first book is gonna be Will's Words of Wisdom. Like I said, it's just it's a workbook, but it's also like a devotional workbook to where, it's a quote and then you write, what you got from it, and my
That
next
is
book,
amazing.
it's
I
just gonna
love
help a lot
it.
of people. I'm just trying to
Yes,
help people.
yes, yes. Self help. And people don't want to do the work. People don't want to do the work. It's hard. Self work is the hardest job. You think marriage is hard? Yourself is hard. Looking yourself in the mirror and saying, we need to change this. We need to do better. That is hard.
It
People
is.
don't want to change. They
Well,
don't want to
I
change.
think they
They're
want to.
comfortable.
It's just they don't like the process. They don't like the process. Like
Mm-mm-mm.
my daughter, she love getting her hair done, but she tender headed. She don't like the process. Just that's a fact. It's just I don't like the process. I want to
Yes.
change, but and I call it the lobster effect. And if you ever Google how a lobster is born, it and how it like we know lobsters now they got a hard shell when they get big.
Uh-huh.
But when they first born, they have a very soft shell. But once the shell gets hard, how do they continue to grow? They continue to grow by breaking out of that shell because they're uncomfortable to get another shell to where they're comfortable again. And then when that shell becomes, to where I got to keep growing, I got to break out of that one to keep going.
Oh
And
my
as humans, we have to do that.
God.
But this is one thing I want to leave everybody with.
Hmm.
The one thing that we have that no other creature has to reach its maximum potential is this thing called choice.
I was thinking that.
That's what stops us. Nothing else, like
Yes.
nothing else gets in the way. Like a tree gonna go to its maximum potential. A rose gonna go to its like animal gonna reach the biggest it can get. But a human, because we can choose, we would never get to our
It could
maximum
be our
potential.
downfall. You're so right.
We'll never get there. And that's why you have to do, like I said. So I was on this journey where 21 days breaks a habit. So for 21 days, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get up 3 o'clock every day, and I'm gonna go live at 4 o'clock. And that's what I've been doing. And now my body has just like adjusted to where I'm getting up, where it's quiet, nobody's moving. I'm getting so much done before 8 o'clock. It's ridiculous.
Mm.
And I'm just like, man, like I see why they get up so early.
Yeah.
I get so
Where
much done.
everybody else sleep.
I get so much done.
Mm.
So like I said, it's just something that you have to. If you don't, I tell people this: if you don't like where you at, if you don't feel whatever it is, change it.
Yeah. I saw a quote. I'm a big quote head. It was like, if you don't like your life, just like how you said it, if you don't like the way things are going, you're not a tree, change. It was just as simple as that. I was like, well, wow.
Yeah, and I tell most of the kids that that I'm mentoring and when I'm going to college, I'm like, you got to build your stamina. If you don't build your stamina, lower your expectations. But you can't do both.
Mm. Uh-huh.
You can't do both. Like, you got to build your stamina for trouble to hit, and then have an expectation. But it got to be a realistic expectation. I think that's what some of us men and women do. We live a life to think that we gonna have trouble free problems. You know what I'm saying? Like that's unrealistic.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, people that been together 30 years, 40 years, they've been together, like they've been through things.
Mm-hmm.
They've been through things, so
Mm-hmm.
they're able to say, yeah, hey, it's you gotta easy come, easy go. So I don't want it easy.
Yeah,
I don't, because if it
that's
comes
true.
easy, guess what's gonna happen? It's gonna be easy for it to leave.
Yeah, that's true. I love that. Easy come, easy go.
Yeah, and people don't
And the
realize that.
harder you work for it, you're not going to easily let that go because all that work you don't put in.
Exactly, exactly. But that don't mean just because you tried to make it work. Like I said, you can try so many times, but at sometimes you got to realize, okay, like I've gave 110%. What else can I give?
You know what? And at that point, maybe it's not you. Since you've given everything, it's the other person. And you can't force or make them do their part. So as long as you know you did everything you could do, and really nothing else to do at that point from
That's
your
it.
point of view.
That's it. And I think that's the frustrating part. That's why if you ever look at people who win the championship, they don't cry because they won that game. They cry because of all the hard work they put in, the sleepless night, the hours, the pain, the dedication, and then they finally win the game, and now they crying. And then when you get the people that lose,
Mm-hmm.
they're crying because I gave all I had.
Mm.
I gave all I had. So by me giving all I had, I need to release the fact that I gave all I had to be able to come back and guess what? Be stronger.
Mm.
That's how you got to look at it. Like when you gave all you had, you get it
Okay.
out, you cry, you do what you got to do. You don't sit in it. You let it.
Yeah.
I talked about it this morning. The title of my topic this morning was what was it? What was it? It was don't let yourself don't let yourself down. Yeah, it
Oh,
was
you
like don't.
better say that.
Yeah, it was don't let yourself down because people don't realize you need like so to get these characteristics, you got to go through pain, suffering, heartache. But what you get from those characteristics is courage. You're able to get endurance. You're able to get dignity. Like you can't get those things without going through pain, without going through suffering.
Mm, so they're like teachers.
You need them.
OMG.
You need them. So it's like you got to go through it.
Oh my God.
You got to go through it. And that's why I tell people I call it the reflection stage. And that's something you just did. Like you was in a relationship
Yep.
and you probably had your girlfriend saying, "Girl, you shouldn't be with him. You know what he
Yes,
doing to you,
you
this
are
and this and
so
that."
right.
And
Oh
guess
my
what? The whole time they saying that, you can't see it because you in
God.
it.
I
So when you in it,
know.
you can't see it until you come out of it
Out of
to be
it.
like, y'all know what?
What the
Y'all was right.
hell?
I shouldn't have been. But it took you to come out of it to see it.
Yeah.
That's why
That
that's why
is the
that's why it's called
craziest
a reflection.
thing.
That's why it's called a reflection.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
That's why people
Mm.
gotta like. That's why I challenge people when they come to my live. Like, look yourself. Like, when's the last time you honestly looked yourself in the mirror and said, "I love you"?
Oh my
Like,
God.
you love everybody else, but when have you got up, washed your face, and looked in the mirror and like, "I love you"?
Oh my God. That is beautiful.
I guarantee you probably you can quote that, put that on Facebook, and I guarantee you people be like, "I don't even know when last time I told myself I
I
love
know. Wow. But you pouring into everybody else's cup.
you." See,
Wow.
and then you trying to figure out why you drink.
But your own.
I just said it the other day too. I was saying you gotta stop letting people subtract from you and get around people that add to you. Because if not, you're gonna figure out you can't figure out why you divide it and not multiply it.
You better.
I was like, man, that's crazy because we got people that just keep taking, taking, and then we like, man, like I'm trying to figure out why I'm divided and not even multiply because I ain't got people that's adding to me.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta
I
feed who
love
feed
that. Yeah. Oh my God. Confirmation. I literally just saw that.
you. Gotta feed
Oh
who feed.
my gosh. And you know, I think it's hard for me because I'm such a giver and I've been in places where, you know, I've been on the other end, so I can only imagine how it would feel for someone to pour into me. So I usually do that, but end up being drained. But it comes so naturally, like just a natural giver. Like it
It's,
doesn't hurt at all.
it is natural, but what you just said was something that is very key. And like I said, this is why I pay attention. This is what I do. I pay attention to what you're saying because you're speaking life to something that you shouldn't be. And what you have to realize is it's okay to say no.
Okay.
Like it's okay to say no. Like you can still be generous.
Yeah.
Oh, let me break this down for you. So we
I
got
feel like I'm lying too. Like if I have the money and you ask for it and I know I got it, I kind of feel like I'm lying.
so let's just say this. So
Okay.
there's a reason why they have guardrails on a bridge, right?
Yeah.
What is that reason?
So you don't fall off.
Okay. So you got boundaries. So if you don't have boundaries,
Mm.
if you don't have
Mm.
boundaries with yourself, with your money, you're gonna be broke.
You know what? I'm done. I'm finna drop the freaking mic. What you don't know is I just recorded a message with my homegirl earlier today, and she said the
I'm telling you,
same
like,
thing.
you gotta have boundaries. Like, and I mean boundaries to a T. I mean stick to it. Be disciplined. Like we just talked about
Yeah.
this. And what
Oh
you
my
gotta do is
God.
I don't mind helping homeless people. I don't mind giving to shelters. What I do is every year we sit down and say, all right, this is the amount that we giving away to anybody who need money. So if we say 1,500 is what we gonna give
Uh-huh.
out the year, that's it.
That's
Once we hit
it.
1,500, I did my share of giving out money to people. So guess what?
All
When you
right.
do that, you don't feel bad because
Okay.
you just didn't catch me at the time when I had that 1,500. Unless God said, hey, I need you to go in your savings and get something. But hey, I gave
Right.
my 1,500. Sorry, Girl Scouts. Y'all better come another
Oh
year.
my God. Thank you so much. I need
Like,
it. That was beautiful. Okay. I love that. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
you gotta have boundaries. And when you have boundaries, you don't feel bad now, even though you do got the
Yeah.
money because you know that you did your part in giving. And what
Hmm.
happens is when you don't know, you just give, and then you're like, man, my money went at.
I know.
Like, you don't even realize. You're like, man, I know I had it.
I know.
But
I
because you
know.
didn't have any boundaries on, you just gave it away. You're like, oh, okay, it was just $10 in the cup, so I just,
Oh,
you
this
know,
is such a blessing. I had to hear it twice today. Okay,
see, there you go.
Lord.
Sit right on in there.
OMG, I love it. Okay. And the way she explained it is like having boundaries is like self love. She's like, and if you don't want me to have boundaries, then you don't love me because she said you even should have boundaries for yourself. And I was like, oh my God,
You
that's
should,
a form of self love.
and that's why it's important to be able to learn to say no because you're just a yes person. When you don't learn to say no, it hurts you to a way to where it should feel good. Like you should say no and feel relieved and not feel like, oh man, I shouldn't have told him no. Like no,
Yeah.
like no means no. Like I shouldn't feel no type of way for something that you know. I even know that you don't even have the money to give it back. That's the bad part.
Mm.
Like you asking for money that you can't even get back, and I know that. I should feel bad to give it to you. Come on, man.
Oh my God.
Come on.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Like I'm not gonna
Okay.
no. That's why I don't even feel bad. I used to make lies and excuses, and I'm like, no, you know what? No.
Yeah, it's as simple as that.
Just
Okay.
no. Because guess what? If I ask for it, I know you're not gonna be able to give it to me.
And that's that hurt. That's that hurt.
I know, but if you're hanging around people, and this is why I say you got to put people around you that's adding to you, because
Yes,
when my
that goes
phone
back
rings,
into it.
when my phone rings, I don't have people call me with stupid stuff.
Mm.
Like I know when my phone ring, it ain't somebody saying, hey, I need to hold something, or hey,
Or drama.
like they don't call with stupid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I need a ride. Can you give me a lift? Like they created Uber.
Yeah, Uber and Lyft.
Yeah,
Pick your
like
choice.
you're not gonna call me with my phone don't ring for stupid stuff. It's either business or I'm encouraging somebody or family, but it's not stupid stuff that I allow to be my problem, and it's not my problem.
I love that. I love that. So, as the CEO of your own life, you have to hire, fire, promote, and demote. Your circle is very important. Not just your circle, but like you said, even the people that call your phone.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And now I say this: people have to realize, and this is something that people just don't like come to conscious to understand. There's a difference between having a friends and people in your inner circle.
Oh,
There's two
break it
different.
down. Break it down.
There's two different. So the people that are your friends, this how this goes. So they be like, "Hey, Meesh, you need girl, that book that you planned on, or that podcast you planned on doing." You be like, "Girl, I don't feel like doing my podcast today."
Mm-hmm.
Like, girl, don't worry about it. You can do it tomorrow. That's it's your podcast. Don't even worry about doing it. Let's go do this. That's a friend.
Mm-hmm.
But a person that's in your inner circle, you be
Mm-hmm.
like, girl, I don't feel like doing my podcast. They be like, you gonna let's go. You gonna get on this podcast. You gonna sit down. You ain't doing nothing until you get this done. Like that's somebody in your inner circle.
Okay.
Because people in your inner
Okay.
circle, they see the future you.
Oh my
Your friends see you for
God.
right now.
OMG.
So
Oh
that's
my
the difference. So people in your
God.
inner circle, they push you towards the future you, because they see that. They don't look at you for right now like your friends do. Your friends look at you right now. That's why we have so many people. They be like, man, I thought that was my friend. Like they like not even encouraging me. They just saying whatever I'm saying. They just like on what's that movie that's so funny? Oh, Coming to America. Like, what do you like? Whatever you like.
Oh my
Like
goodness.
but that's when you'll realize, okay, these are my friends, and this is my inner circle. And that's even biblical. God had 12 disciples, but only can take 3 with him. So he had friends and he had
Mm.
his inner circle.
OMG. Yes, you better speak that.
Just just saying. And you gotta know who in your inner circle that's seeing the future you, that's holding you accountable to things that you say you're gonna do, that's always on top of you, that's always there for you, and never asking you how much I owe you again. Like real friends don't, like real
I
people that's in your inner circle. Like I got
know.
people right now that I've gave so much and we've gave so much, I can't even count like how much we've given each other.
Yeah.
It's just like I got it, he got it. I don't even worry about it. Like my credit good. But a friend, you'd be like, all right, you owe me $10, right? You said you got paid Thursday, but I know you might get an early deposit on Wednesday. So
Oh
you
my
like,
God.
you got change for a 20. Like, you even where you get 20 from? Like,
Oh my gosh.
so
That was,
that's
I
something that
love
people don't like.
that.
You gotta realize it.
Okay.
You gotta realize it, and it's hard to notice because, like I said, you got your Judases out there.
Mm. So
But
be watchful.
yeah, you got to. And like I said, you come to my show, you'll learn so much, and
Yes.
you'll see how I break things down to make you look at it at a different perspective because you're exposed to it now. It's something to look at that you probably never thought to look at, to be like, man, like it's something so simple and I don't do it. It's just like what they say back in the day, an apple a day does what?
Keep the doctor
So
away.
why we don't do it?
Oh, that's a whole nother
You see
podcast.
what I'm saying?
I
Like,
will go on and on about that. Yes. And
but we
why
don't.
we don't do it.
Remember how you just wrote this down because it's too easy.
Oh my
It's too easy. Like we
God.
all know to do it. It's just too easy. So because it's too easy, it's like, I'm not gonna do it. But what if that's true? What if it's true? You just got an apple a day.
Shut up.
But because it's too easy, easy come, easy go. So guess what? We ain't doing it because it's too easy.
Horrible.
Like I said, just a different perspective.
Yes, that's exactly
It's a
what it
different
is. And I'm so
perspective.
glad you're a sharer or an encourager because if I only am looking straight forward and nobody has ever taught me to turn my neck, I'm never going to be able to see in the other direction. So I'm glad that you are a sharer and encourager because people, they grow up different, they live different, and they only know their perspective. And to someone widen their horizon to new experiences or ways of looking at things, they would never think of it that way otherwise.
And this is, I mean, I know everybody have they different God they believe, but I believe in Jesus.
True, true, true.
But
Uh huh.
this is biblical. The Bible says, "Raise a child up as they should go, and as they grow up, they won't deter from it." Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What people don't, and this biblical.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is not raised the way that they should go. So that's why it's
Ah.
hard for people to deter from something that they've been raised their whole life. When they get a different perspective, they like, oh, this is challenging now. But I know my mama said, my daddy raised me, my grandma said, from years of drilling,
Yeah.
like you said, everybody not raised the right way they should go.
Yeah.
So when you're not raised the right way you should go, it's just like, man, what do you do? Like, how do you find out? Like that's the question. Like my mom and dad got divorced. I was like, wait a minute. Like you were going
Hmm.
to church every Sunday, Wednesday, Friday, and
Yeah.
Saturday morning. Like, wait a minute now.
I know, right?
Like, who told you to do that? Like,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But
I
when
know what
she
you
told me
mean.
that, when we found out what it was, and she said that God
Mm-hmm.
told her to do it, I was like, no questions
Yes.
asked. I'm
Exactly.
like, I'm say no more.
Gotcha.
Like I got it.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Like okay, so she was right, but like I said, nobody. I was that baby that was, like I said, I was raised the way I should go,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't raise me the way that I should go. Like I never seen my mom and dad
Mm.
argue in front of me. So guess what? As I got older and
Mm-hmm.
I got into an argument, I didn't know what
Mm-hmm.
to do because I never seen my parents do it.
I can say that as well.
So
Yep.
now,
I
so
can
now I
say
never
that as
seen them do it.
well.
So now I'm either doing what's on TV, what I seen somebody else do,
Yes.
what somebody tell me to
Yes.
do,
Uh-huh.
because I've never seen it. So now I think that's right. So now I'm just like, okay, I get an argument, I do this, I grab my keys, I leave.
Yep.
I deal with it
Yep.
that way.
That's me. Yeah.
So it's just like, hey, never seen it.
Uh-huh. Wow.
So and that's a whole other topic. I can tell people a whole other things on how to deal with relationships when you in it, out of it, how to dissect it, how your parents' relationship can affect your relationships in the future. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's a whole nother. Because you gotta think, my parents was 19 years, and I asked myself one day. I woke up, I just was like, I asked my mama this. I said, Mama, I said, I ain't learned nothing from y'all being married 19 years. Like I didn't. I
Shut
didn't. Because I was that kid that I played sports. I was in the era to where you couldn't ask questions. You go outside. So it was like,
Yeah.
hey, why my sister light skin? Go outside and play football. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Uh-huh.
Like, grown folks talking. I'm outside playing kick the can and hit the curve. Like, so I didn't ask questions. And my grandma laughed because I didn't know, that my mama only had, brothers. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, my grandma had, she adopted people? Like, what? I didn't know that.
Mm. Okay, okay.
So I was like, I mean, not adopted people, but, got remarried. And,
Yeah.
so I was like, oh, stepsisters. Okay. About them
Mm-hmm.
told me. Now that makes sense why my auntie don't visit us sometimes and this time she do.
Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
got
okay.
you. And maybe that, and I know we're a new generation, but maybe in their point of view, they were trying to protect us, but sometimes that could end up being a hindrance. Because you need to see the struggles, and relationship ain't Disney fairy tale, and you really got to work and grind, and there may be some arguments, then you can get through them. So me personally, I look back and I can understand, put it that way. I have a perspective to where, okay, I could see where they're coming from. Doesn't necessarily mean it's right, but I got a better understanding now. It's like, okay, I got you. Because I'm vegan and my grandma wasn't, my mom and them wasn't. And I'm just like, it's so much knowledge. Like you said, an apple a day. Well, it's cancer and a lot of this stuff and chemicals and stuff. And I guess they were trying to survive and feed their family. That wasn't their concern. So I don't really put it on them. But now that we have computers in our hand, our generation, it's really no excuse. So we definitely got to do better with everything, not just food. You talk about relationships, encouragement.
Yeah.
We really have, my people perish for lack of knowledge. So we should all have our nose in a book or learning and self-work. And we are our biggest, downfall. It's, we can't blame nobody but ourselves, period.
Because we, like I said, we just not applying it. Like everybody know how to lose weight. Everybody know what to do. Everybody know what to do. We just don't apply it. Like I know what I gotta do to get my credit score right, but guess what? I'm not applying what I gotta do. I gotta buy these jars. I gotta buy these purse. I gotta give everybody money. But I gotta stay disciplined.
Wisdom.
I gotta stay disciplined. Like I know what I gotta do. It's just I don't apply it.
I learned so much tonight. Thank you so very much.
Yes, that's what I'm here for. That's like I said, different perspective.
My God.
Teach how to, like I said, how to dominate your environment.
So I definitely have to check out your podcast. I'm gonna wrap it up. It's probably gonna end soon.
Yes.
So we have to end somewhere, or we'll end up talking all night. I do want to thank you so much for being on the show tonight. I really enjoyed the conversation, and I'll definitely have to have you on again. Once again, I cannot wait to catch a show.
Yes.
And you want to tell us how we can reach you one more time?
Hey, one more time. Like I said, on Facebook, it is Willie Sanders, better known as Will Words of Wisdom. But if you pull me up, you'll see me. On Instagram is Wisdom Life. That's WILLSDOM. You can also, like I said, find out more about me on my website. That's williesanders.life. And that's how you can find me. Like I said, you can learn more about what I teach, what I do, how to get my speaking engagements, how I teach the colors. I got a class started with that. So, like I said, it's something that really help people.
Awesome. Well, once again, I do thank you so much for being on the show. I cannot wait to put it up. It was such a pleasure.
Yes.
And until next time, bye. And this concludes today's conversation. Thanks a million for listening. You can reach me on other social media platforms at www.linktr.ee/LUV.MEESH www.linktree/love.meesh. I hope you have a better than great day. Love you. Talk to you later. Mwah. Bye.